session.
Awesome.
Awesome. Welcome.
Hi. Well, I just came here about a month ago. Currently, in real life, I'm unemployed, but online I used to do, if I can, some designing stuff. Usually I worked as a tourist guide, but I'm kind of a tech lover, so I kind of like this project and the idea of the community, and I'm interested to see what to hear here and what's in the future.
Awesome. Welcome. Yeah, he'll be making those awesome videos for the podcast. And Meta mentioned background as well.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Silly stuff.
Where are you from again?
I'm from Croatia.
Croatia. Nice.
I was born in the US, but my parents are both Croatian, so we came back here when I was little. So
nice. Wait,
I have dual citizenship.
Do you know him, Pete, like personally?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you guys are nice.
And Bukes Master as well, first time joining us for the call. Hey. You hearing us? Buke, is that even how you spell it? Bukes Master? Bukes Master without the X maybe?
I think it's by UX Master.
By UX Master.
I don't know, I'm just guessing. I like the avatar though.
Quiet person.
Dan, how's it going, Dan? How you been?
Hey guys, I've been good. Finally back.
Welcome. How's life?
Good. Hey, this guy called Dog is not able to join. Can you help? Somebody can help him?
Who?
On event channel.
Check that.
I think he needs permissions.
Oh yeah. Yeah, updating him. There we go.
ABCXT as well.
Oh, Drew is back.
What's up?
Hey, Drew. What's up, man?
What's up, guys?
That's good.
Morning, Drew.
Did you guys hear the podcast on Bankless with Balaji? Drew, I don't know if you heard it.
The one talking about MetaGame.
Yeah, literally. It was interesting. Like he was talking about like the same thing about like digital communities like coming together to like get land. First, starting off with like pockets of land in different places and all this sort of stuff.
I think he was the first ones to start throwing around, at least recently, like digital nation states and stuff too. Like
yeah.
Which if you only knew, haven't you guys harassed him yet to like come join us over here? Like
I wanted to I wanted to jump on the call with them because they do these like intros in VR, but they're like at 4 a.m. for me, so I need to find someone from here that's in the US so they can represent MetaGame.
I'll go next time. I saw your message, but I wasn't at home, so I couldn't go. But let me know next time there is. I'll drop by there.
Awesome, sounds good. Hey, Dog.
Once I get the farm, I'll just write like autonomous zone on the front driveway, and then I'll be like, "Yeah, we already started. What are you talking about?"
Yeah, exactly.
What up, bro? What up?
So, is ABCDX here? It's the other guy. Nope, he's not here yet. Okay. Do we do video or do we do without video? Because I heard that recently some people have had limitations with Discord when it comes to too many people being online. I think we're okay with video, aren't we?
Yeah, we're okay. There's only 3 of us with the camera on, so that's fine.
Well, I can switch it on if you don't like my face or don't like masks. Let's get off here.
You have a beautiful face, sir.
How did you find us, man? Oh, we can't hear you. Or At least I can't.
No, why you can't?
There we go.
Wait a minute.
I can
You
hear
can
you.
hear me? Yeah. So these headphones have this kind of weird issue where I tilt my head the wrong way, and they instantly mute me. And it's super annoying when you have an actual phone call because the other people on the other side, they get this waiting music and they hate me. It's terrible. And it doesn't happen every day. I think it's temperature dependent. I mean, you know, I've tried so many headphones. I like the sound of these the best, but what can you do? So basically, I joined here as the kind of primary facilitator from DeepWork. Not sure where Andre is. He's not here. At least I don't see his avatar. ABCDX should also be coming in. Peter, I'm not sure if you were able to give him permissions as well. Oh, Peter, where's he here?
I gave him the player permission just now, so tell him to try again.
Okay, so he should be able to join.
Is there anyone else besides
no,
ABCDX?
that's basically all of us.
What did you say his nickname was?
I added it.
ABCDX something.
It's in the same events channel, right above.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it looks like he joined then Discord a few days ago or something. Because he's not in the Meta Square.
Okay, so general question: does everyone have the link to the Miro board that we will be using in a minute?
No.
Because if not, I have to figure out a way to get it from my computer to my phone. Because surprise, Windows doesn't like my headphones, so I can't use Discord with my headphones. It's super now, so I'm on the phone at the same time.
That's annoying.
Now I think I have a way. Yeah, I know how to do it. I can post it for a short time in which channel should I best
you can
post it?
In the town hall dump right above.
Town hall dump. Let me see.
Yeah. Right above the voice channel.
There it is. Perfect.
Hamad, you said you let ABCXD in.
I gave them permissions, the player permission. Do they need any other permission?
No.
I think it should be enough.
Yeah, get them to try joining. I don't know if I can add them in manually.
What about LMNOP?
So I had to restart Discord on my phone, so I just recommended him to do the same. And that should definitely alleviate the situation.
And Andre is coming as well?
I think so. I hope so. I don't know for a fact, since he's still been traveling and knowing the reliability of German public transport, there might have been some delays because he was going from Berlin to Hamburg. So he might be coming in late or maybe not at all. I have no visibility into that. But since we're going to be spending 2 very nice and cozy, comfortable hours together, you know, when he joins in, it's only going to get more cozy and more awesome. So, you know, we don't need him to start, let's put it this way, because the start is all about, you know, figuring out what's what, where we want to go, where the crazy roller coaster of your ideas is going to take us. And that's basically something that I would, since we're not officially starting yet, since ABCDX is not here, you know, basic goals, because the beginning of the decision jam also is kind of like an inverted interview. We need to figure out, all of us, my brain, your brains, where you want to take my meta, what kind of forms of redesign you're looking at. And it would be great if someone from your side could share the screen and basically, you know, start freewheeling about the design, about what you're looking at, what your hopes are, and everybody else who's not screen sharing, not mainly talking, has the task of just, you know, taking notes of what they perceive to be relevant and important and what they're hearing at the moment. And they can also add their own thoughts. And that's basically kind of our brainstorming of the initial first steps. And then we will progress down our nice slide of converging processes. And at the end, oh man, sorry, my headphones again. Arrive at a clear matrix of what we should prioritize and what we should take on first, because that's the main goal here.
Sounds good. I will share my screen just Trying to load this thing.
So, like I said before, Town Hall Dump, that's where the link for the MetaGame Decision Jam is.
Awesome.
We have 6 people inside, lots of guests. Tom is already in, so I know he is online. He just can't seem to get into the Discord. Maybe he's updating his Discord or something. Let's take a
I'm
look.
here. Hey guys.
Ah, you made it. I can't see you. What's your... there you are. Ah, awesome. I'm not alone anymore. Cool. Have you heard anything from Andre?
He just joined Discord.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect. Oh, so many pointers.
Okay, 7 people in the Discord. In the Miro board. Yeah, I see Dan 13 RAM or Dan 13 RAM. What's the right way to say that? And yeah, Andre, welcome.
Dan 13 RAM.
So a question from my side: are we complete from MetaGame side, or is anybody else joining from you lot?
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember the last time there was so many of us, so I think that should be it.
Nice. Hey guys, this is Andre.
Hamad, are you recording?
Yes, I am.
Andre, what's up, man?
Hey, Drew. Good to see your profile picture.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
And hear your voice.
Yeah. Here.
Nice.
I'll do one better, I think.
All right, we're a pretty huge group. Someone has a lot of background noise.
Hey.
Don't know who it is.
Yeah.
Hey, what up?
If everyone can mute,
Andre,
that would be great.
Oh, it could be me. Let me switch to somewhere else.
Andre only designs.
Switch off the people, please. Switch off the people. We don't need them.
Is it better now?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Okay, let me know if it gets too loud.
Right.
Too loud.
Yeah, all good.
All right, we are 10 people plus me, so 11 people in the Discord. So that is basically, well, still not everyone, but maybe not everyone wants to actively participate in the Miro, which I do recommend though, because the more opinions you have, the closer to the true value of what we need to find we get. And that's basically the most important thing for me. Who's going to be sharing their screen and initiating our conversation? You? Great.
Yeah.
From my point of view, we can start at any point, unless you want to wait for somebody very important, maybe some VIPs.
I think that's about it. Yeah, for anyone who's not in the Miro yet, the link is in the Town Hall Dump right above this channel.
There it is. Yeah.
And I'm going to share my screen. So yeah, my meta profiles are good, and you need some few things to complete, and that's about it. And this is about the platform. Can you guys see this? All right, there we go. And the basic idea with the Andre, can you mute your microphone? Thank you. The basic idea with the platform is this: like you just get this background, you get this like app drawer. These are the most important things. You open it, you get these things, and then all of these things should be like you should be able to open them inside an iframe. And
actually, Peter, sorry, I just wanna sorry if I interrupt you. Let's start with like it would be good if you could go through this and everybody else could write already notes, because you're going through like some important information, and the way we would run this workshop is basically like to, while you're talking about these things, to just already write things down and be able to work with them right away. So I don't want to interrupt you. Sorry?
No worries. Thank you for interrupting me. Zebra is the one who's taking notes, but he's not here now. So I don't know if anybody...
Oh no, so the idea is that we would all take notes together in Miro. So if you have Miro open, and I'm just gonna quickly kind of intro what we're gonna do real quick before we get started. So you should have the Miro link in one of the Discord channels. Once you're there, you can see these canvases, and we're just gonna go through those one by one. Just give me a sec.
Can you share the screen? So that
I'm gonna try it. I'm not exactly sure if that works in Discord.
I can share it.
Ah, cool. Yeah, thanks. So you're gonna have these different canvases, and you'll just basically go through like a very set process to basically save as much time as possible while we work through everything that needs to be done, and then make some decisions on what. For the very first part, we're just going to start off with a little bit of a conversation on exactly what is the state right now, and especially from Peter, from you, like what you think is most important to work through. So, and that's going to happen in a pretty kind of structured way. So you take one of these sticky notes, and so everybody who's on the Miro board, and while Peter is going through the sketches, the design files, and everything that's currently there, and all the thoughts that need to be worked on, you just write them down on a Post-it note. And basically everybody, so there shouldn't be just one person who takes notes, but like everybody who's on this board right now, grab one of those Post-its and write down what you think, what you can pick up on from what needs to be worked on. And then we'll collect them all there.
So should we all have our own workspace that we should like make a copy of?
You can, but you don't have to. These things are more like for kind of privacy reason. You can use them, but normally I just use like any white space around. So you're not going to need them necessarily. Okay. It's more like part of this template.
Sounds good. All right, I do have one question. Like I was going to give this quick intro of what I see the platform going, and then I have this whole list of ideas that I wanted to throw on the board myself. And if everybody's taking these ideas, we're going to end up with a lot of duplicates, right? So maybe
that's fine. No problem. That's totally fine. So
okay.
If there's duplicates, we will find them and we'll cover them up. So that's right. And we'll basically have to vote on the right stuff anyway. So don't worry about that.
All right, sounds good. All
so yeah, let's start with like the first 30 minutes to just, you can give your intro, and then let's take like 20 minutes. You can give an intro and then basically talk through the list that you think you need to work through, and everybody else just feel free to listen and write everything down what you pick up from the notes, from the conversation.
Awesome, sounds good. Thank you. Let me just check this message because all right, so yeah, the idea is that there will be this background, this app drawer, and then all of these applications that are in the app drawer are opened inside an iframe, so inside a window, and then you can either like have this window like floating here, or you can embed it into the background. And the background itself, like right now, there's nothing in the background besides there's this app drawer, but when it's closed, it's just an empty background. And the idea is that the background, like at least this top part, will be like a dashboard with like the most important information that like either like the latest news or like the seed stats or whatever.
Just a quick question, like to understand like the goals of the design sprint, is this more so about like what this thing looks like, or what are we building and what are our goals, and more on a higher level, I guess, rather than like specific implementation details? Like, you know, because like there's one side of it is like just like the technicalities of like this is what we have, but I guess the bigger picture is like, why are we doing this? What is the purpose we're trying to serve? What problem we're trying to solve? Like that higher level aspect.
The high level thing, like just get all the ideas out here and then prioritize what needs to be like designed, like actual interface design next and all of that.
Yeah, so we're not going too deeply into what things will be looking like specifically, but identifying what it is that actually needs to be worked on with the highest priority. I mean, we already heard a lot in the 60 seconds we had so far, and I think the more we go through all the views, all the interfaces, your ideas will just bubble up, and all you need to do, everyone needs to do, is just put them on the post-its so that we can work with them right after, because everything will be taken into account, but it needs to be visible for all of us in the My Report.
Yep.
And it's going to be pretty cool.
Sweet.
So thank you.
Let's carry on.
Yeah, and so that's the basic idea, and like the idea is that you should be able to open it. The dashboard should be customizable, although it doesn't need to be in the beginning. But yeah, the point of this is to have everything that you need to like do things in metagame, or like learn, or whatever you want to do, complete quests. So everything that can be put into the background on the dashboard or different applications. Like if you have any ideas, you can just write them down already. And then these are things that we have in the things to build. So the main dashboard.
What I would find helpful, sorry for interjecting here, but every time you switch to a new view, I, for instance, have not really seen any of the metagame stuff so far. I know about it, I heard about it, maybe I even dream about it and don't remember. But it would be cool to have like 1-2 sentences at the beginning of what it is that we're looking at. So at least from our side, everyone can, just onboard their minds faster. You guys probably all know what you're looking at, but I think it's helpful.
What do you mean by looking at like the metagame itself, or like or you're not seeing like the...
No. So for instance, I see now a view of quests and some visualizations, literally super short intro what I'm looking at, so that I don't have to think about it while you're talking, because then I cannot listen to you, and that's what I actually want to do.
So we're making a profile integration with 3box, and so these are an interface to get around the profile.
Yeah, the profiles are like just the basic thing. Like the profiles will be part of this whole interface.
Yeah.
But
I think
the
this
interface
specifically,
itself,
what you're looking at is like, this is our own research notes, the place where we take notes, and this is just like Pete's description on what he thinks how he thinks quests should work. And quests basically are like, if metagame is a game and there's things to do, quests are like the things you can do and earn XP from.
Does that answer it, or do you want like a sentence or two, or like a broad description of metagame itself?
I think this covers it for me. I'll fill in the blanks with what I know, and it's okay. Let's carry on. I got what quests are. I know the rest of my game.
All right, that's good. I think everybody else already knows as well. And so the main dashboard, I only have a few ideas in here, but yeah, things like player sentiment. So like when you log in, the game asks you like, how are you doing, or something like that. And then like carbon footprint, other than that, we have like the C price, and whatever you can think of that could be like useful to be the first thing that you see when you log into metagame, like whatever you think. Just write it down. Then the idea with playbooks is that we will get, for example, like people like Alex Mazmej, and like ask them, okay, can you write a short post like 10 steps on like how to find your way in crypto, like for non-technical people? And then we can find somebody technical who can be like, okay, this is my playbook for making it as a programmer. And you get the idea. It's like from people from different areas, give an intro. Then these are just my meta ideas, like there's just this thing that's important. Meta radio, like get just the page for the podcast. I think that's pretty important right now. The podcast is on Anchor, and like that's away from metagame. Like we need a place in the interface, like the page that has like at least the podcast episodes. Although I think like when you open Meta Radio, you should split, like it can ask you like whether you want to listen to the podcast or to the music. And if you choose music for beginning, we can implement Loft Radio like we did so far, and eventually we can integrate like audios. Then Meta merch, like we have a bunch of designs already, and we should finally build a store so we can sell those designs in shirts and whatever we have. Then this install app idea is the idea that like you have this, but there will be one more block that says install app, and then it asks you like, do you want to install an app that's like critical to metagame, or do you want to like install an app for your guild? Like for example, if Dollhouse wanted to like integrate Dollhouse into one of these blocks, they could yeah, depending on what we decide to like, is it integral to metagame, then it gets there for free. And if we think it's just it serves the guild more than it does serve the metagame, then the guild has to like stake some seeds to install an app. It can be like split from these main apps, like have a new section called below to or something. Then the seed subscription page, like the page that should be telling people, like allowing people to subscribe. This cool example. Like something like this, telling people like why would they want to subscribe, like what are the subscription levels, and you get the idea. Then we got the supply and demand, which would be just two different feeds. One would be like people in metagame, like players and guild, offering what kind of services they have or like applications or whatever, and the demand is like whatever they are looking for. So that would be like the beginning of the seed market as an just not place to sell and buy seeds, but actually a place to spend seeds and exchange services and whatnot. And then quests, I think like this is probably one of the most important things right now. We are doing them on Discord, but it would be great if we had a like a module for quests on the website where it said like, okay, these are the daily quests, these are the most important quests, these are like daily challenges and whatever. But yeah, split what we have in the Discord channel and have it like have a question website. What is stuff? Yeah, feeds. So if we're building like at least kind of a social media platform, then it needs some kind of feeds. I think the first kind of feed that we could implement is the one that I was talking about with SourceCred, that would just simply list everything that happens on SourceCred, and not everything, but like the things that earned most XP. So like from Discord, from forums and GitHub, and just compose a feed that like shows things by the amount of value that created, and then you can filter them by emojis and whatnot. And these are different kinds of fees that I had ideas for that I won't go through now. Crypto Quora, yeah, like a place where people that come into metagame can like, ask a question, and then other people can answer that question for some coins or seeds or whatever. What the fuck is metagame is more like what the fuck is Ethereum is more like a fun thing to do, like not very important, but the idea is that it would be like if you start with a chatbot interaction that asks you like, hey, like welcome to crypto, what do you do? And like if you're a musician, it can send you to audios. If you say that you're a lawyer, it will send you to other places. But yeah, explaining Ethereum in a way that's like explains it to like what are the important parts of Ethereum like to you. Like if you're an artist, you want to know about the NFT stuff. You get the idea. Calendar, an integrated calendar. Like right now we have it on Discord, and we have that outside of metagame, which is on Google Calendar. Like it's okay, I think, to use that in the beginning. We can have that inside an iframe, but it would be cool to have a nicer calendar that we can add things on and that isn't like owned by Google. Looks better. Ticker is just another fun thing that we could do, like have a ticker that would be like displaying price of seeds, like different stats, in-game tips, and like random messages people could like pay to have displayed. Like if anybody doesn't know what's a ticker, like that's a line that usually displays prices on stock exchanges. 1 million seeds page, you know, the same thing as 1 million pixels, but for seeds. Like just have a page that people can add different images and whatever, and stake different parts of the page with seeds. There's basically ways to spend the seeds. Meta library stuff is different upgrades for the Wikipedia, because the Wikipedia is right now is just a metagame wiki, and it will get like rebranded to the meta library, so it's not just metagame specific. And then these are like different things that we could add on there, like the tweet library, like we need the gallery, like reactions on the post in the wiki, so we can create value long term, and like so people can signal whether they like it or not. And yeah, that's the meta library stuff. And then the debating platform, which like shows a graph that shows different ways like of debating and how the debate splits into different branches of a conversation, which I think is like a really long-term thing, not so important now. Like as we go deeper, like these are less important. Like I sorted them the way I see the most important ones. FOMO hunt is the idea that people will be like posting different applications and things that you could do, like reviews, but you would be taking for something, and then people who will be upvoting the thing, and then like as more and more people upvote the application, and as it grows in popularity, then the people that brought it in, like the seeds flow back to them. So the people are always incentivized to like find new applications and bring them into metagame, and yeah, other people can speculate by upvoting them. Memecraft is basically what we have on Discord, like the Photoshop game where we upgrade images and add layers and like make memes. But yeah, I have it like in a better interface than just a chat, and then you can organize things like the battles between the different images and whatnot. They went to this metamedia. The page that I mentioned previously would be like contain different media that is produced by people related to metagame. So it could be like not just news from Ethereum, but also like music from the people that produce it in metagame, videos, or whatever kind of media. Internal Patreon, like some kind of grants within metagame, and the browser minimap is just a thing that would follow you around and like map the website that you're visiting in a graph. And that's pretty much what I got.
Yeah, very cool.
Less important. I think this is definitely more than enough for now.
Yeah, I think this is a lot of content that we can definitely use. I do have one question though. So, this what was at the beginning when we saw the metagame interface with the app drawer and everything. All of the things that we talked about here, they should kind of be they're envisioned as part of this general interface, what we're looking at right now, right? Or are they somehow completely separate domains?
No, they are part of the same thing. So, like each of these things could have their own like application, and then you open it inside time frame, and then you can use the time frame to like embed it into your own dashboard.
Okay.
And like you can have different, like you can have as many pages as you want, like in this like dashboard, and then you'll be able to like expand them like this.
If you guys saw like the ETH Online website where they kind of had that like windowed system and like modular thing, like it's kind of in similar vein. Or if you've seen like Poolside FM, similar kind of idea. And we kind of have to make this trade-off because we want to like metagames basically like aggregating a bunch of different like parts of the Web3 space, in the form of these apps, but we still want to have it as like one cohesive interface. So, some of those apps might actually live on different domains. Like there might be like some DAO app or whatever, and then, but we can kind of display it in a window inside this thing.
Can't find this thing. It was pretty cool, like, but this is not it, right?
No, they had a different thing.
I'm going to show Loft Radio just because it's cool. But yeah, that's the idea. Like this thing would be called like the Meta OS or like the Metasys.
Just go to live.ethonline.org. That's where it was.
Right, and there's already music playing. Or that's from here. Oh, that's not Loft Radio. That's Poolside FM. And yeah, you get the idea. What is this?
Just click enter.
This is working. Oh, it's really. There we go. But yeah, you get the idea. You get chat. You get music, themes, and yeah, that's the sort of thing we are doing. Except like, not I guess not so retro. And this is Poolside FM. Yeah, ours is more like a modern mobile interface than
I have to say though, because this is like we always use this for interspace. I mean, you guys actually started it with the metagame version, and then we ported it over to all interspaces. And I really feel it's an anti-pattern. Just want to say that.
You will feel what?
Yeah, the windows themselves, like using little windows, is an anti-pattern. I think of all my experience working with this kind of stuff, it's very easy to implement, and you could maybe make a switch, but I would be careful to put too much behind small windows.
Yeah, ideally, like we'll want this experience to be like workable on mobile first as well. So that's always been like a consideration for me. Is like I want to design this for mobile first, actually. And you know, windowed systems naturally don't work great for that. But you know, we don't want to be completely married to the window implementation either. But use it as like a like one possible like interface into it, but you know, just because these are just iframes, you can display them in other ways as well. But yeah, like I think that's more implementation details.
I have a question. So this window implementation or the implementation of Windows in the interface, is that like, or has it been so far as given something that there was consensus on, or something that is really contentious that you might actually move away from this completely? I'm interested in both.
I don't know.
Like I like the idea of it. I think it's like,
or I guess if you want to do it like mobile first, then maybe it's not that compatible. But yeah, that might be some contentious, like, because I don't really agree that we should be focusing on mobile first. Although I'm not sure of that, because like if we can make it good enough that it works both on mobile and on desktop, then that's for sure. But like if it requires a lot of sacrifice in terms of the interface, like I think we should just focus on like the desktop version.
Okay, so we're nearing the end of our kind of time box. We have already collected basically a pretty full page. So if anyone feels very inclined, they can try and cluster the sticky notes that we have so far. Oh yeah, if you have if you have an error protruding from your sticky note, you can actually click on it and remove it using the delete button in case it annoys you. What we're going to be doing next is actually voting, prioritizing. So when you look at the brainstorm next possible steps view, in the top right, you see little red buttons. Those are our voting buttons. And for the next, let's say, at least, well, few minutes until everyone's done voting, you can grab as many of these dots as you like and just prioritize stuff. And then we will, once the voting period ends, we have 7 minutes. Thank you, Andre, for the ticker. And once we are done with voting, we're going to prioritize these. So the sticky notes that get the most votes are going to advance to the next stage. So just focus on grabbing red dots, voting on things that are important to you, and yeah, let's just make this fun. And Andre, if you're still there, yeah, I see you. Music would be good, I think. What do you think?
Doesn't work in Discord. I've never figured out how to share music in Discord, but feel free to put on some music for yourselves over the next couple of minutes. Normally, I would just stream music through Zoom, but we'll just skip that this time. But yeah, and if you so you use these little red circles. Actually, it's probably better if you use like 5 dots each. So don't go unlimited. But rather limit yourself with the choices, so you don't like, don't vote on everything, because what we want is also to narrow down our focus a little bit. So 5 dots each.
Quick question: like, there's the actual voting option too, instead of like these dots. Should we use that maybe, or no? Like,
let's stick to the dots. I know there's the voting feature too. It can work. I mean, for this thing, it probably doesn't really matter. It's easier to explain if we're going through like several other exercises, and it's actually going to be easier to work with the post-its when we have them here because we can move them around. Voting feature doesn't allow you to like I actually don't know. I have to like play around with it again. Last time I used it, it wasn't really like fully fleshed out. Let's go for the little red circles first.
No worries.
That's just going to be to look at.
Yo guys, a link of what are you looking at, because I'm late and I missed out everything.
You have the town hall dump right above the channel.
Oh, I see. Okay. Thank you.
Nice.
Oh yeah, and if you spot doubles already, then feel free to overlap them. So you can just take one and then put it on top of the other one, so that they're clustered. And then, or yeah, or just delete it. It doesn't really matter. Great, thank you.
We've reached our final minute. Once you hear the bell, you can always voice your opinion if you need more time. Then we can, extend it a little, not too much. Me personally, I'm done. I've made my 5 votes.
David, I just sent you an invitation to Miro account. Have a look if that works like anytime soon, so they can put on a timer as well.
Awesome. So anybody need extra time? Going once, going twice,
I see two
going
dots
3
here.
times. So what I see so far, the highest dot count we've reached is 5. So that's going to definitely, we have a few of those, so we'll prioritize these. And I think we're going to collect the cards with 5 points, 4 points, and 3 points into the next view. If you scroll to the right a little bit, you'll see a field prioritized. Just select one and drag them over. Don't copy paste, just cut and paste or just drag them over, including the dots. And what we want to do now is prioritize them. So let's put the ones with the most dots on top. If there are cards with the same amount of dots, just put them next to each other on one row. I think somebody forgot a few 5 dots here above the quest module should be available thing.
I'm just grabbing those.
Okay. Very good. Those are 2s, those are 1s.
I missed it. Still got one to come over. Where's that one gone?
Okay, so let's take care of those. Perfect. Here are a few trees.
Wow.
It's pointing and clicking. I think you guys can deal.
Who stole my card? I just selected it and it just disappeared.
Yep. Here we go. Okay, let me arrange this in a little bit more beautiful fashion so it's that I can start it as well. It's 4.
That's fine.
Did someone move these dots to this one here? Was that the one that was missing the dots?
Ooh. Okay, somebody's completing the playbooks. Good. Make some more space for this one. How might we? I'll just put it here. Whatever. It's not overcomplicated. Okay. The apps can be installed. Was that also 3 dots? I don't remember. Yeah, let's put the here. That's great.
I'm surprised. Is there more left for playbooks? I'm surprised that got only 3 votes. I thought playbooks was one of the most important.
I think it was 3 actually.
Yeah, for me it's the favorite.
Do we have
some volunteers?
Do we have weighted votes?
So we all have the same votes. In some cases, when it gets contentious, we might have a decision roll, but I'm not foreseeing this at the moment. Let's just order these up first. Like, is Metagame Library also only 3 votes?
I think there was a bunch of similar ones. Maybe.
Okay. So I think we need to clean this up a little because this is a little bit chaotic. Yeah, this is good. Thanks.
I think this choose your own adventure is kind of like plays into playbooks.
I thought the choose your own adventure was like more so like what is it, like WTF is Ethereum, like
Right. Yeah.
Okay, but one thing that we basically do not have to dispute is that mobile first is actually important. So 4 votes is a pretty strong vote. So what I think, yeah, I think we can discard the ones with 2 dots completely. Unless somebody really thinks it's super important and wants to reconsider their vote. Remember, you have 5 votes and we had enough time, so I'd like to filter these in order to be able to progress a little bit more along today's
these
trajectory.
two like interactive bot onboarding and literally RPG onboarding is the same as choose your own adventure. So like these 2 can be like get the votes up.
Okay. Okay, well, you guys are the experts. Just fuse them exactly.
Also, don't worry about the playbooks one, for instance. It's still, because it has 3 votes, we'll work on all of them. So
okay.
whatever the solutions will be, we'll actually prioritize those. And as long as that's upvoted here, that makes a lot of sense.
I guess the only one that's left on the original board that I would like to see on the other side is the player sentiment thing, but it only had 2 votes.
Can you highlight that one because I don't see it?
Right. Oops. Sorry. My thing's lagging. I'm trying to record my screen at the same time, so it's
well,
this one
the
here.
question is like if it only has 2 votes. So normally we would have like on a workshop someone who would be a decider, like one person who can kind of bias decisions if something is missing or if something needs to be steered in a particular direction. And that's normally a person who has quite a high responsibility in the project. If you think that you or Peter is that kind of person, feel free to also push certain things forward. But you also have to take into account that there's been 12 people at least voting, and if that has lower priority for what people seem to be important, then that's just what it is.
Yeah, there are like 2 things here that I think that, like, for example, the player sentiment, the like game X you are doing, like this, like it only received 2 votes because it's not like really groundbreaking, but it's like really small to integrate. So I think it's something that is worth having there. And like Meta Radio as well, it's just a page that that the anchor feeds the podcast into. It's like a high impact, not exciting, which is why it didn't get so many votes, but it's like simple and high impact. So is it okay? Should I drag them also like to prioritize, or what do I do with them?
So again, it is up to you. I mean, as I would say, like as you're a decider on this, it's kind of up to you if you feel like that's important and you have particular insight that probably a lot of other people don't have. Then definitely feel free to. But again, take into account that this is more or less democratic, so everybody's opinion also counts, and you can kind of evaluate what people want versus what you think is right.
Yeah, I see like the Meta Radio thing more so as like equivalent to like, we're gonna have a link to our like social media channels on our website, and if we have a podcast, we're gonna want to have it on our website so people can read the podcast. So it's almost like one of like the no-brainer ones to me. So maybe like people didn't vote for it because it was like a no-brainer, but like I'm pretty sure like most people in MetaGame, like the podcast and wanted to continue, unless that's not true. But like I'm assuming that it's more so just like something that we assume that we will have on the website just because we have a podcast already.
I mean, there were so many great ideas, so I don't think it's not surprising that like some ideas that like aren't so fun or great but are useful like didn't get votes just because they're not like an exciting idea, but like it's pretty simple to implement and it's high impact.
Well, be that as it may, our next step, I would say, is to collect these many dots, the 4 dots and the 3 dot cards, and rephrase them as how might we's. What's the idea behind this? So it gets our brains, it shifts our perspective on the problem a little bit, and forces us to rephrase this into a solvable challenge, and basically opens up, makes it easier for us to really figure out what the core issue is, what our ultimate goal is with these things. I think Andre dragged one over. Maybe he's going to give us an example, it looks like. But we can drag all of the 3 dots, 4 dots, and many dots over and start rephrasing them. And we will take as much time as we need, but obviously we shouldn't take forever. Any comments? If there are any comments, it's an open channel. You can always do all kinds of things in terms of commenting. No?
Yeah, feel free to just rephrase. Sorry? Feel free to just take them and rephrase them. And the idea is to get them into a different format that will make it easier for us to come up with solutions in the next step. Also, I mean, feel free to take just all of the ones that are in the prioritized bucket. And something like, if the blue one was choose your adventure to join Ethereum space, etc. I just rephrase that into how might we design a choose your own adventure, etc. It's more about like
we don't need dots here, right? I took
Yeah,
them
we
by
don't.
accident. I'm the only one who took the dots with that note.
Well, you get bonus points for diligence. All right, signaure kid. How might we?
I still don't understand this. Like, I see that people are adding how might we, but I kind of see what else is different.
So when you start with how might we, obviously you're basically predicating that you're writing down the question, and when you actually force yourself to put a question mark at the end, and you want to have a grammatically coherent sentence, you start to think a little bit differently. So I have taken them, for instance, in the top right, the one with users being able to exchange their seat for services. I didn't change too much, but I just wanted to make sure that we don't constrain. So when you read a card and you read an HMW, it shouldn't like converge to one specific idea already in your head. It should be kind of open-ended so that we can iterate around all this, so that we actually enable ourselves to use our group creativity to come up with a solution that we wouldn't get to by simply thinking about it ourselves. That's the idea behind it. So this how might we formulation is mostly just an exercise in creating more creative thinking patterns. So for instance, when I look at the blue one here, I actually have issue with rephrasing this myself because I don't understand what the ask is here. How might we ask and display? Is if someone if you're here in the channel and you wrote this, possibly you're the best qualified person to rephrase this into a how might we. Maybe you can just describe what the intention is here.
Well, the way we ask the user how will we wish to customize it, and the way that will be displayed. So will the main dashboard contain everything, or the main dashboard contain simply some priorities that the player selected, and in which way the whole interaction will go on, and in the end.
Okay, so what I understand, sorry, please finish.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, so the way I understood that was that this is more about, so let me just put it in an example sentence. How might we identify the user's needs for what they want to see on their metagame like launch screen, something like this. It's basically about finding out how does the user want this to look, and how do we get it to look the way he wants it to look or she wants it to look.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt. I kind of joined a little bit late-ish. Is there a screen being shared, or where's everybody collaborating at?
We're collaborating on the Miro board. If you go to the town hall dump, the channel right about above the voice channel, you'll see a Miro link. Click on it, and then you'll be right where we are.
Lovely, thank you.
So this is basically doublet. All right. This is good. So I'm going to bubble up cards that I think are pretty much complete to the top. You're free to do the same, so I don't have like the super authority here, but when I think something is super clear and easy to follow, I just bubble it up. And by bubbling up, I mean I just move it to the top. That's good. Okay, so we already have like 3 similar ones. This is probably So I have another question regarding the card. How might we build the adventure for players that join? Is this aimed at the adventure of, starting with metagame and proceeding along some sort of trajectory, or is this more about a specific adventure, a specific path they have to choose after they have joined and familiarized themselves a little with metagame?
So that was specifically like the quest. How do we build the quest and the adventure that they're gonna take?
Thanks.
What's the difference between these two places?
How do you mean? I didn't see your cursor because I don't know which one's yours because we have like 14.
There's a huge there's just to split. The what could be better container, there's 2 of them.
Fortunately, I can't follow you.
I'll jump in here. So yeah, the next step is gonna be, we're gonna vote on these how might we's we just made. So we're gonna prioritize what's most important, and then we're gonna use those in the next screen where we'll find solutions to those how might we's. So the first one would be like dragging the prioritized how might we's to the board, and then we're gonna propose solutions to them. So right now, when we are ready, I'll let David say when we're ready, but we're gonna vote on the how might we's we find most important.
Oh yeah, this was just the how to do it page. I thought these were like posted that were taken from the parts on the left. Now that I zoom in and read, I see that this is like the template stuff.
All right, so I'm thinking about a way how we can actually fit all this into our new voting space. It's going to be quite crowded, so I think we need to throw in a short summarization step here because we do have some overlap, guys. So I'd like you to be honest. And when you see something, hey, this kind of fits together, try to ensure that the kind of spirit of the 3 cards is preserved in one of them and delete the others. So I'm definitely, yeah. So Hamad is already grabbing this in terms of the mobile experience. So go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. But when it comes to please, who has a question?
Okay, so we can just delete duplicates. Like there's 3 mobile cards, for
duplicates
example.
should be deleted, please, because we wanna. If they're like true duplicates, if there's, it's a bit of a fuzzy thing. So fuzzy logic, apply fuzzy logic if you can. But true duplicates should definitely be deleted. We don't have the space to just do a lot of voting, and also would drive down the fidelity of what we do. This is a good one.
Yeah, you can group them, and if you see some like rephrasing you can do to match 2 to 1, then go for it.
What does this mean? How might MetaGame seal their services?
I think it was a sell, but I do not know.
I think we can just keep the second one. I think that captures the sentiment.
Yes.
Jen, what about these two? Like one is designer choose your own adventure game, and the other one is build adventures quest that new players.
So I think
MetaGame specific.
Yeah, I think we should clarify because like choose your own adventure is more so like, we guide. If someone's an artist, we tell them to go to Audius. If someone's a lawyer, we send them to like, the LexDAO, all these things. Whereas the quest is like a separate thing, more specific to MetaGame.
Yeah, looks a lot cleaner already. Yeah, sell merge is actually a good one. Right, somebody drew a line there. Was it me? I think so. Playbooks. Yeah.
Also, there's this green card here. It seems like it has like multiple questions, and also like.
So it's very close to the UI. It specifies it should be radar chart, and so it's actually very close, very low level, which is not a negative, but it's definitely divergent from everything else we have here. What's your suggestion?
I think whoever like wrote the card maybe like reword it to like kind of capture. Like for me, it's like saying like quadratic founding, like all these things is like I don't know, like maybe rewrite it as like what's the purpose of what you're trying to do, or like what's the goal. Maybe that might help make it easier.
So I did it. I just wanted to separate the quadratic funding thing into separate sticky notes, because I think it's definitely. Yep.
What is meant with diffuse metagame podcasts?
So I guess just get them out to people. Basically publish and get them seen.
Distribute, I guess.
So distribute.
Diffuse and distribute. Yeah, these are sufficiently different, I think. So 1, 2. Yeah, the big green one is kind of difficult. Kind of obvious.
For this, how might we distribute metagame podcasts? What if we rephrase it to how might we distribute podcasts and content in general? Because that might capture like the whole metamedia thing, like and just like in a bit more general like content distribution strategies. Whereas like how might we distribute metagame podcasts specifically feels like there might not be as like many sort of like insight we can derive from that, because it would be just like we distribute it on this platform. Whereas like just thinking about general content strategy, might
Yeah, go
inspire
ahead and
more.
rephrase it. I think it's a sensible suggestion. Oh yeah. Oh, there's one that I really like. The one about mindfulness and mental health. This has been something I've been thinking about a lot the recent week, and I wonder where this is gonna end up in the Web3 community, because this is definitely something that everyone's doing a little, but I think there's something to be discovered there in terms of basically linking communities together and one-upping one another, that we basically move towards a more healthy shared mental state. Ooh, that sounds weird, but yeah, okay, why not? Shared mental state? I'm in.
I'll add that in the card.
Okay, so I think we have a healthy reduction. We can keep the different colors. So I'd suggest we move over the cards to the next view, align them in one row, so that we basically have one clean column below each of those.
Are we voting on these or?
So we will not be voting on these because we have already prioritized these. What we're going to take on first is going to, just look for solutions, just brainstorm personally, internally, and just write out as many solutions as possible. And then we will be voting on the solutions that we aggregate below them. If we need to make this wider, then of course I can make some extra space. Yep, it's locked. Let me unlock that. Can't unlock it because we don't own the board.
So while writing down solutions, think about like the next steps we need to take to get to the solution. So if you please divide up some steps to get to that.
Yeah, we definitely need some extra space here. Yeah, can't edit, so we need to make do with what we have. This? Well, then we just need to narrow the cards even more. You can basically zoom in. This is fully vectorized as an application, so when something is too small, just zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, until you can read it all. Yep, this can become very small, too small. Yep. Yep. Sweet. Jesus.
What's the biggest number of people that you did this with?
You mean the decision jam? I actually can't tell you because this is my first decision jam. I've been on hypersprints before. But I think this scales to, I'd say, around 30, 40 people. That's my kind of estimate. But, the thing is, with one voice channel and 40 people, it gets crowded. But you can work on the same board and have separate voice rooms so that you can still coordinate the people socially. That works.
That's cool.
So we have one little guy left behind. So he's going to get an extra row, I think, below here. Let me grab the frame. What?
So right now you can start writing down your solutions and to the problems on top. So read through the problems and then write down your solutions.
Yeah, the one blue one on the side that's at the border between these two, just drop your solutions below there as well. The important thing is, stay creative. Whatever you perceive to be the next steps or any step on the way to solving this particular problem works. Just note them down. We'll vote them down in 10 minutes. Starting the timer now.
mute that. It's hectic.
That's not a meeting, is it? It's more like people collaborating on something.
Yeah.
I think.
Looks like hard to read. Like the.
I know, right? The tiny ones are.
Oh, yeah, the text is tiny.
We can hear you, by the way.
Hey, Heidi, if you want to join, there's a link in the town hall dump.
Yeah, I just sent over a link for them.
Cool.
Welcome.
You can freely zoom in as much as you possibly can. It's basically infinite zoom. So if it's hard to read, it'll be better.
Yeah.
Is everybody finished, or do we need more time?
I'm trying to write, but it doesn't allow me.
Yeah, I'm basically asking the same question if we need to extend something.
Yeah, I had to bring out the page.
Okay, so what? Do we do 2 more minutes? Okay, let's do 2 more minutes. Alright, it is a lot. Huh.
I think the first one on the left, like the fun gamified experience, is the same as the choose your own adventure. Is there any difference? Has anyone looked at them?
So which one did you mean?
I agree.
The one on the left, the blue one, and the design choose your own adventure game that's on the far right, the third one on the right side.
So I think the most right is more about like making it like personal and like fits to your needs, and I think the
one on the left also
it's
has
also
a
like
personalized.
personal. Yeah.
And the solutions are kind of the same, like onboarding bot and onboarding that analyzes.
Yeah, we can group them.
Do it. Okay. Voting's finished. Voting. What am I saying? Brainstorming. So it's a shit ton of solutions. Definitely going to be interesting voting on this. We might even overrun a little on the voting. So you know the drill. You would be grabbing 5 votes each, and you would be very diligent and very aware in how you use them. And basically put your vote. You can even put multiple votes on one card. That's absolutely fine. What's important is that you spend all your 5 votes, and we thus identify what really matters to the people in the call right now. And to all those who joined a little bit later, absolutely fine. Read through the solutions. Grab 5 dots. You can see 5 dots in the upper right corner of the current brainstorm. What needs to be done view. And just copy one, keep it in your clipboard, and then just paste. Remember, you have 5 votes. We'll take some time to vote, actually, because I think a lot of these solutions are not instantly self-explanatory. So I suggest we keep the voice channel open. Just if you have a question, need some clarification, just ask, but don't edit the.
Yeah, I have a question about, like, for example, this, like, it splits into, like, the solutions are kind of like part of the same solution. Like, the first step is like create an incentive for people to add content, then it's onboard high profile players to make them, and then it's create a space on the wiki for them. So it's like it needs all three of those. It's like they're not like separate solutions, they're more like complete one solution.
For now, that's not a problem. Let's first vote, and if there's doubles, we can group them together. But for now, we're not going to group everything because there is going to be overlaps for sure. But let's first vote, and if there are overlaps between the things we voted on, we'll group them together, and they will count as the votes will count together. So.
Got it.
Tom, can you activate the timer? I could, but now I can't anymore. It's kind of gone.
I can only put it to 50 minutes. Can't change the timer.
I can edit it now. For some reason, it appeared. Somehow you control whether I can see it. I'll put it at 8 minutes and 44 seconds. Oh no, wait. We should start from a lower value. Actually, my bad.
Yeah, just put it at 7 minutes.
It's interesting. Like my sort of strategy for voting is not necessarily voting for the best ideas. It's for voting for the ideas that I think will be the most underrated, because I'm assuming the best ideas will get voted by other people.
Yeah. Same here.
You know, you can apply your own game theory here, no holds barred, as I said. But you know the outcome. What gets the most votes progresses to the next stage. So make your bets accordingly.
Need to tokenize the dots.
I'll buy your dots.
Yeah, if it were connected to your positions in the markets, definitely. Yeah. Like you use the wrong dot, man, it's like a 3x short. Or longer, depending.
Yeah, this is the cool thing about like the next version of SourceCred is basically it'll be like this, where the dots will actually have economic impact in sort of like shifting the incentive and the weights towards like whoever gets these things done earns more cred.
And SourceCred basically tracks this automatically, right?
Yeah, like the next version will. It's so the original version right now we're using is more automatic, but the next version of SourceCred is like centered around the creditor, which is more so about like this sort of process where we're gathering manually community feedback and people are sort of like doing this manual input, because there's a lot of value in this sort of thing that you don't get just from like automatic data collection. Yeah. Excuse me.
Disconnected the graph or source code instances. I think like these are unnecessary 4 dots that are spent here, because this is like source code is working on this. This is not something that we will be building.
I think like, so with that too, I think like metagame will still play a really important part of it, because like source code is going to be creating like the underlying tooling for it to be possible. But I think like something like metagame is necessary to actually onboard the communities and like give people a reason to actually use this thing.
Got it.
So yeah, I think like we'll definitely be like working closely with source code on that aspect.
Can someone explain this? Allow earning seeds and selling them and get profits.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't write it, but I'm also a little bit murky on the details of what it means.
I mean, if you give people the possibility to get like profits out of what they do rather quickly, then they probably will do work fast, like work as well. Because like the easier it is to monetize something, the more motivation you would get to do something. You know, so that's the logic. So in case you can do something and get seeds and like sell them and get profits like real quick,
Yeah.
then it incentivizes you to do more work.
I think like
instant earning.
I think maybe a better way to phrase it would be like make it really like clear and transparent how much and how the user is earning. Because I think right now like it is a lot better because we have the seed market and people can like easily have like liquidity to sell into. But it's for a lot of people it's still not clear like, you know, when do I get seeds, like how do I get seeds, like a lot of this is just explaining how source code works. But I think like some sort of interface where they can just see like, oh, here's like, you know, my earnings and like my stats and like just like the feeling of progression. You know, that's like the big thing in games is like you want to feel like you're leveling up and your like there's some sort of metric or number that's increasing as you like do stuff. So maybe rephrasing it more so as like progression mechanics for people to feel like they get like a feedback, like positive feedback loop for when they do stuff. One of which could be like earning value.
Say, for example, whenever you do something, you just instantly see SID plus or something. The service move of yours is noticed, and this will get you seeds with everything. Like, Perfect doesn't work instantly. If you don't get seeds right away, you get them weekly, right? Monthly, or even so. So then we get a log of what is counted.
Yeah, I think like just using the XP log.
Oh yeah, XP log.
We are still talking about the allow earning seeds thing.
Yeah, I think it like the purpose. I think like because we already do allow people to earn seeds and get paid for selling them. What we don't do is like make it like clear and transparent and get for people to feel like they're actually progressing. So I think like the sentiment of this thing was like, how can we get users to feel like they're doing something or progressing?
So can I reframe it then to like make tighter feedback loop?
Yeah.
By dropping the block.
Tighter feedback loop with XP.
Sounds reasonable. Are there any other questions about other cards? Anything that needs clarification? We can take another minute or two. No, sounds like we're good. Right. So if we are in a kind of state of convergence and nobody wants to, shift around their vote, nobody needs any more clarification, let's grab all those that have been voted and drag them to the prioritized section on the right. And again, order them top to bottom with the highest voted ones on top. So the one on the bottom left, I understand that is actually one card, right? So the
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, let's leave out the ones with one dot and continue with the ones with at least two dots.
Then we are done with this.
Right, so at the top here we are allowed to create quests with seed allocation. So this is
I think this kind of goes against source code because it makes then somebody needs to decide how much something is worth, and the whole point of source code is so we don't have that centralized thing that people decide.
Do you think maybe it's about people spending their own seeds to create a quest?
Allowed to create? Oh yeah, maybe.
Whoever wrote that, could you clarify exactly what you meant?
And what did the people that were voting mean?
So I voted for it.
I voted on it.
As well. That it would be primarily for people to spend their seeds, and you give a reason for personal quest kind of thing.
Got it. Yeah, makes sense.
Is that the same? So can everybody that voted on it just have a quick word on why they voted for it?
I think this fits under the supply and demand, which always has both three dots. If you create a page where people can put what they're looking for, or it's not, no, maybe not. This is more temporary, I guess. I don't know.
This might it could possibly be something like rabbit hole, where some DApp or some platform might create a quest for people to use their platform by spending seeds. So there's an incentive for people to do that thing.
Right.
But
yeah,
there's a lot of different ways.
Different work, but yeah, that's a good thing as well.
Like a bounty system, basically.
Yeah, that's what I had in mind, but from what described, something a bit different.
Yeah, it's for example, let's say you're OpenSea and you want to incentivize more people to come and mint an NFT or something. OpenSea could then come into MetaGame, buy seeds, and then spend the seeds to create a quest for MetaGame players to create an NFT on OpenSea.
Yeah, you can go to rabbithole.gg if you want to see an example of this thing.
Okay, so Penguin, you moved okay, that's like a 2 dot. Oh, alright. if there are things that
It's like a combination a little bit though. Right? It's still a created task and points to
Paco, these cards are all like the same targets. They're more like steps of solutions.
Okay, so if there are cards that match, just put them next to each other so we can and say that you're doing it, so we can all we know that what's happening.
So this is an interesting one as well, because there's like these two cards that are like contentious with each other. So this one is like about the customization aspect, like the degree of it. So they're kind of related, but like I don't know if like if this like subtracts 2 votes from here or something like that.
Yeah, I mean you could like vote on like either this or that, but I think like the making it as customizable as possible is like a big part of the metagame. And like, especially if you want people to like start their own metagames, like it's going to be like this open source thing.
Yeah.
So
I think it's like
I don't care about consistency. I think more about giving freedom.
Yeah, I think it's like a trade-off of like the usability and like how like the implementation, as well as like customized in the right way. Because like you don't want it to be customizable as possible because the possibilities are endless. Like
yeah, that's a good point. I mean, like colors and like background, like wallpapers, and like putting up your own like dashboards and like composing different apps together, and things like that. Not like something too crazy.
I think it just creates a lot of technical debt. Is the reason why I voted against more consistency, right? Like we should focus on getting one thing working and working really well. Be friendly to mobile, but keep it on point. Because I guess with respect to some of the documentation, I feel like some of it's redundant and we've got it in multiple formats to support however somebody wishes to approach it, but then that just makes it tougher to manage long term.
Yeah.
And so reflecting on that, I think, when I look at the suggestion to make it more customizable, I think about the parallel to the challenging deep documentation.
I guess it depends on what degree you need to customize.
Fair.
Like I see Magenta, you joined. There's a channel above this voice channel if you didn't notice yet, where you can open it and then use the red dot. I guess your possible voting stage.
I got it.
The next stage is going to be interesting too.
What?
Got it. I'm new enough. I'm just kind of walking.
Okay.
Right. So we have our prioritized post-its now. We have quite many. So the next task is to place all of them, but not all of them at the same time, I think. Or Tom, what do you think? Do we place them at the same time or sequentially? What's the approach?
I'd say I'll go through every one of them, and then I'll say like where does it fit on the map, and then whoever thinks they have something like the p-value of speaking up on the impact or the effort, just speak up, and then I'll drop it wherever we see fit as a community. And then if someone has any comments and doesn't agree with the decision, they speak up, and then we move forward to the next one.
Okay, so I'll start the 1 minute timer. If we end up in the situation where the 1 minute is up and there's still discussion going on, we just shelve it in a small backlog and then switch to the next one regardless. And once we've gone through all of them, we then focus on the ones that we put in the backlog. Okay?
Sounds good.
All right, let's get started.
All right. So there's allowed to create quests by spending seeds.
So I would think
Do we
that
find it important?
I think this is fairly higher effort because there's like a lot of things to manage, like who decides like when these quests are completed, like what's the oracle, like there's a lot of like engineering effort required to do a lot of these things, and I think the impact is like medium-ish because like it does create a use case for seeds and it creates like a way people like spend their seeds, but I don't think it's like it's gonna like revolutionize metagame or like be the main thing that people come here for per se.
I think it meant that, for example, if I want something done, I would be interested to put a quest for seeds, and I'm like a client, so I have seeds, then paying seeds for the work done, and I have kind of acceptance criteria for quest or something. So it's not that you can, like everyone can get it, but it's like an NPC plays a quest for seeds done once.
Yeah, I think it's fairly important that we should build like the basic questing systems. Like we build a system for.
Our minute is up. Our minute is up. I think this is a contentious point. Let's shelve it and iterate to the next one, okay?
I think the placement is good for
Okay, so leave it there. I'll ask this question later. Let's go to the next one.
So the next one is tighter feedback loops with experience by the bot, letting you know your stats or through the web interface, so you can see expected earnings. So basically,
yeah.
And like with the current bot, like the first version can be like really simple to build.
Yeah, I
like
think
basically already have it.
Yeah. On the source code side as well, there's a lot better tooling coming out for this, so this is almost like an inevitability. I see it as. We can probably move to the next one.
Okay, cool. Simple interface for supply and demand listing.
Yeah, I think this is fairly high impact, but I don't know like how hard to implement. Like you can have some kind of like taking system.
Yeah, I think it's like really high effort because like it's almost a standalone product in and of itself, like a whole bounty system and like an interface to like manage all these things. I think it could be lower effort if you integrate with something that exists already, but if we're going to build it out from scratch, then it might be like higher effort.
Yeah, I think you can use something like the Deepworks. They have like all the context for everything we do.
Yeah, and like it also like brings into question like should like doing things that are like already being done, for example, by Gitcoin. Like it's very easy to like put stuff up on Gitcoin. What's the point of us reinventing that compared to like doing something that's more like unique to us?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it's useful to have like an internal market in MetaGame. Like we can have like an internal market where like whether posted there, and we can make it simpler. Like for example, like for Gitcoin you have to go to Gitcoin to put a request, and we can make it so that like you can put it up to Discord or something. But I think like it would be worth it to in the long term have something like, because I would rather like try to do it through the internal market and then like interface with the external and then like go through Gitcoin right away.
Is this something that needs further discussion, or are we happy putting it here? Should I put it in the backlog? The backlog is in my mind.
I think it's fine-ish. I would probably put it lower impact just because it's something that already exists in Gitcoin in some form, and we're just kind of iterating on it rather than putting something that's high impact and new.
Okay. Let's proceed to the next one.
So there's give everyone a quest journal. Do you think it's very impactful or an effort in terms of effort as well?
I think that's kind of the same as the closing the feedback loop. So like if people get their sets and like their info on the quest completed in the chat, then that's kind of the journey.
Yeah, I would probably put it a bit more effort than that because we have to sort of like manage a list of like what are the quests, what's the progression. Like we need someone to create that content as well as like maintain it and build an interface around it. So it's a bit higher effort, but impact, I would say, is like fairly good because it should make onboarding a lot easier. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. If anybody has objections, please say. So there's MySpace approach, custom background, predefined themes, etc. So that's about profile.
I think this is important, but like there's not something to start with. It's more like something to keep in mind, maybe like the way you're building things.
Right.
But is it high effort or is it low effort?
Effort-wise, it's not incredibly high effort.
Wallpaper. Like if you start with just a wallpaper, then it's like that's not high effort for sure. But yeah, depending on how crazy you want to get with the customization.
Decompose doing some stuff in Achievement Tree with themes and stuff and then NFTs. That might be relevant for that. With the new version of Shaka.
Yeah, so like
okay. So yeah, some of that work will already could be reused or something.
Yeah, I think this is about the right place. We just trying to be higher.
Okay.
Yeah. Feel free to move it.
Love it.
Next one. All right, so let's move to the next one. We don't, since we lose consistency. We don't since we lose consistency and control over UX.
Yeah, that's the objection for the MySpace approach.
Right.
There's not many votes, but it has more. Like, should we do a vote on this specifically? Like,
I think effort is less. We can put effort as less, and then impact is also less. If we were to put anything there.
Right. Yeah. Somewhere around here?
Left
it's
of...
almost completely effortless. But yeah, we put it lower.
Yeah, right.
Less customization, less delightful for people.
These two are not exactly mutually exclusive because...
Yeah, I think we'll find the balance.
I would say it's like here because like there is a positive impact of it, like making it more maintainable.
Let's move to the next one. Best user experience built, custom built integrations with an opinionated toolset via API.
So I think this is talking about like how we integrate with like this ecosystem of other dApps and services. And I think like this is like high impact and also high effort. It's not as easy as like just iframes pop-ups, but we can create a much better like integrated system than just like throw any dApp into just a window into a dApp. You can create fewer but more purpose-built like integrations with things.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the dashboard side of things.
Yeah.
Okay. Any objections? I think we all agree. Universal React web app with push notifications. And, where does that fit?
I would say this is also high impact and also higher effort. Like, because we have our existing web app, and like most of our tool chain is like it's not going to be hard to move it over to React Native, but I think it's like it does sort of influence our design for it, because if we're designing it as like mobile first, app first type of situation, it's very different from like this whole Windows thing. So but impact wise it's pretty, I think, important, because like even just having push notifications is like a huge win for like keeping people engaged, and like turning MetaGame into something that people like regularly use and regularly interact with, and it becomes a part of their lives more so.
Would this be a good position for it, like in terms of next compared to the other ones? Right. And there's connected graph of source spread instances tied to user identities.
I think this is like probably super high impact. This like can sort of like this really starts to build out metagame in like what we really want it to be, which is like a game above the game. So there's so many communities and things in Web3, like being able to connect them all together into something like a layer fabric between them. I think is super powerful. Effort wise, like I think it's not like impossible, or like it's definitely like doable, and it's like we're on our way towards building that, but it's not gonna be, it's like a lot of time I think we need, I guess, than pure effort per se. Like it's hard to say effort because I would say this would take longer than even some of those things on the right, but in terms of like just because like it requires so much more coordination between a lot of different communities versus some of those other things on the right, like the app and the integrations can be more so like done by us. So I would, if I were to rearrange these, I could probably put this here. I would put this here.
Right. Do we need to do the two dots as well, or?
I think we should. There's important things there.
All right. So list of guilds with tags that can match user profiles.
What?
So list of guilds with tags that can match user's profile. Whoever wrote this.
Yeah, once we have the guild profiles, we will be able to filter them by the skills, I guess.
I was a fun because in the MIT just for onboarding, and you ask people what they want to do, what they want to work on. So when you know what people are interested in, you can see this group that can match that.
Oh, right. Yeah, so I guess that's part of the onboarding thing. The onboarding experience.
I would say like this is even just guild pages in general, because we don't have guild pages yet. So maybe this could just be about guild pages. Because there might be other things that people want to match with guilds with in general. I'll probably put it like a bit higher impact than the MySpace stuff, but like effort-wise, it seems like in the green area should be good. Yeah, right there.
Where did the onboarding bot experience go?
Oh, it's the top left one.
No, this is the MetaGame specific. I'm talking about the bot that tests like what are you into, like if you're an artist, it's changing the gamified onboarding to your own adventure thing. Somebody must have like researched it or something.
Maybe I
have a way to create a task and assign it points for completion. Is that really important or impactful?
I don't like.
Sorry?
I think that's basically what the creditor is for. Like, but it's still more so like retroactive. I don't know what people mean exactly by points for completion, but like with like most stuff in metagame, it's like the rewards and XP are like retroactive rather than like I'm not sure exactly what it's trying to say. If it's maybe it's about the market.
Yeah, I interpreted that similar to marketplace.
Special quest design revolving around self-reflection and discovery underneath. Is that what the gamified choose your own adventure thing became?
No.
Then I don't understand where this appeared, because it's like the card is missing from the brainstorm area, so somebody moved it to the right, but it's not from the right.
Repeat the exact space.
Like the gamified onboarding experience for the Ethereum space that asks like what area are you from, and then if you're an artist, it changes it. So the artist places some information, and if you're like although your project that fits a lot.
I think it didn't like we had the how might we card, but we didn't have any of the actual cards.
It's missing. Look,
No. It's on the, it's back on the other page, on the how to do it page.
Yeah, we copied them over. So.
What?
No. Get through the votes. The card you're looking for is back on the how to do it page. It kind of bled over from the brainstorm. So if you look for the brainstorm section, just to the left, as cards kind of follow the other page, the card you're looking for is down below that first.
No, it's
but there's one hole here for a card.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we need to go to the other ones first.
Yeah, I know I wrote.
And it's also but let's go to.
Let's finish the remaining ones, then we discuss the whole picture, the big picture, and then we see if we bring the other one in. Or I wouldn't really advise to do that, but let's first finish this. Tom, go ahead.
Yeah, if you think you can just rewrite it, then.
Yeah, I draw it over. Yeah, the one that has no dots.
So I have a way to create a task and assign it points for completion. Are we okay with the position it's in right now?
I would say it's like more so like pretty much in line with this like simple interface for supply and demand vesting. Like I think that's pretty much the same card.
It's the same as the allow to create quest by standard keys.
Yeah. These all three of these are kind of similar, I guess. You can go in between them.
Yeah. I think they're somewhat different because the supply and demand is more like a permanent space, like where you can show what kind of things you are offering, and this space are more like ephemeral.
Yeah, I have to put them together when we're doing the defense.
But yeah, it got a lot of votes, that's for sure.
Alright, let's move on to the next one. Create a catalog of different media outlets, podcast, video, and other content, archiving, for example, podcasts by latest.
I think this one starts with just building a page for Meta Radio, which is like low effort and high impact, I think.
Yeah, here. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, special quest design revolving around self-reflection, discovery, underneath.
Yeah, I wonder how that compares to the good design.
So I'll put it over.
Sounds high impact, but also high effort. I don't know what other things.
I think like my sort of like take on this sort of thing was that like an easy way to do this is like you prompt users for like self-reflection periodically, and that's like fairly like it's not too difficult to do. And the key is just to get users to self-reflect, not necessarily like track views or quests or like
Yeah, I think it's also similar to the one that I suggested earlier, which is like once you log in, you test like how are you doing.
Yeah.
And that is like high impact and low effort. So that's low effort.
Alright.
Not super low, but yeah,
somewhere here or?
Yeah, I think it's fine.
I'll probably do it.
But it says kind of underneath. So regarding the effort, what I meant was it isn't self-explanatory that you're actually self-reflecting, but that should go underneath from the metagame side. But the player itself should be thinking he's completing a quest just for the sake of the quest or something else. But in the actuality, he's going through steps that we specially designed, so he will self-reflect, but not under command, but more under experience as a side effect. So perhaps thinking of ways to design that quest could be significantly harder, maybe, or perhaps it depends on the person who's making it, of course. But if it's in design in that sort of way to be kind of sneaky and underneath, then perhaps the self-reflect directly set, or if you go through a path, through a journey, where you end up self-reflecting by yourself, not by being said to do that.
Right.
All right. Let's move on. We got some more sticky notes to distribute. So there's regular rounds of incentivized voting on something. Where does that fit in terms of impact and effort?
I think incentivized voting is terrible, and like we don't even really vote on things. Like paying people to vote is kind of like how you get bad results, I think.
How you get
right, so negative impact.
Well, I mean,
Basically,
but voted yes on it, so I guess like who wants to dispute that? Like, feel free, please. Like that's just my opinion, but somebody will.
I agree.
I
It sounds
concur.
like a negative impact to me.
Right.
How to mitigate voting just for the sake of voting to get paid.
And we don't even
if your
have a
vote
problem
isn't really meaningful.
to vote. Yeah, to get more people to vote, you have to make things that matter, not pay people to vote, I think.
Right, so yeah, there's this one.
Highest impact.
It's make memes.
This is more like a daily quest, daily challenge.
So high impact?
I would say it's low effort too.
Yeah. Low effort.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Somewhere there. Do we agree or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
So quality control, the library, so users don't get lost in the content.
Yeah, I think it's high impact. The library is probably like going to be a lot of users like first foray into the metagame. But yeah, it does require a decent amount of effort. I think it's I would put it on the green section. It's not like a huge coordination lift or anything. Like it's just like we need people to put in the time and effort to like quality control.
Yeah.
Is that a right fit? Or
I think it's even lower.
What falls under quality control?
Like making sure that there's like minimal like excess content, and like because we don't want to just keep piling content on and on and on. We want to sort of like trim the garden, or like trim the bushes, and make sure things are like well groomed and optimized.
Yeah, I think reacting on the Wikipedia post is like going to enable that. Like if people vote that they dislike or like that it's bloatware or something, then we can remove it or something like that. But we can just start with like filtering things that like the PRs that come through the Wikipedia GitHub. Although like we don't really have a problem with that currently. Like there isn't anyone even submitting posts beside me, so I think that's fine for now.
Right. So there's this one which has like 3 different ones. So create a space on the wiki for these playbooks, create incentive, for people to create this content, onboard high-profile members of the community to write them.
Yeah.
Where do we?
I think this high impact and low effort. We just need a page to put these.
I would say it's fairly high effort because it's not easy to like, get all these people to come and write stuff, and like, even we've been talking about our skill trees and stuff, which is kind of similar, but it really hasn't manifested in anything. And I think like it needs some level of effort for someone to like sort of champion that and coordinate it and like, herd the cats and whatnot.
Yeah,
it's not like a lot of technical effort, but it's a lot of like coordination effort.
Nagging people. Yeah, that's fair. And
right.
Yeah. Then we have this, which is like.
So it's the last one. I have a bot that asks people what their background is, and then tells them what's relevant to them, and about different paths they could take. So where do we put this in terms of effort and impact?
I think, isn't this the onboarding one, Pete?
No, this is more like general Ethereum one, like Web3, not specific to MetaGame itself.
Oh, like where we direct them to like choose your own adventure, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would say it's like decently high impact. Like, I don't know if because this is mostly targeting people who aren't in Web3, I guess, right now. I don't know if that's exactly who we want to target, but it's not too difficult to do it. But I'm not 100% sure if it should be a bot per se. Like, I think it could be an interface as well.
Yeah, like that. What the fuck is what the fuck is Ethereum interface? I don't know if anybody remembers that, but you basically select from a drop. I mean, it doesn't have to be that simple, but it just give people a way to select an answer, to select what they are, and that's it. And tell them. It doesn't have to be like robot or super conversational or anything.
Are we happy with where it's placed right now? So in the middle.
Yeah, I think we should move this one as well there. Like, I missed it, like, because it like you have to zoom in to actually read it, which is why I think nobody voted for it. But I think it's pretty important to have the MetaGame quests on the platform, like have it displayed in a better way than just chat.
Do you agree, MetaDreamer?
Yes.
Hamad?
Yep.
Okay. Right, maybe we can
Right.
also put it on here then.
I think it's high impact, and then the effort, I'm not sure. Like the way I wrote that it will be completed is just have the player would like press complete quest on the web interface, and then in the back end it would just bridge the message to like a private data thing channel where like the people who are assigned for like making sure that people are rewarded would just go to that channel that only they can see and approve the quest completions. And then the people would get the notification through the Titanate feedback loops bot.
Yeah, this is like another thing to push for like push notifications so people can like get those sort of things. But yeah, cool.
All right, and like how much effort do you think that is?
It's probably a decent amount of effort. Like I would probably put it up, like definitely over the halfway point.
All right.
Yeah, impact wise, like I'd probably put it like slightly below just top impact, because I think
this is actually like more impactful than the connected source code graph, at least for now, because it's like a
I get like because that's the thing. It's more like immediately impactful because it's probably easier to execute on, but like the source code thing is like more like long-term impactful. So that's the harder. Like it depends what type of impactful, but I think it's a decent place for it.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, good point.
All right, so we finished. Let's move these the top voted ones in the basically the most impactful and the least effort ones to the right, on top here.
So I need to fly, guys. I have an appointment in 20 minutes. I think you're in good hands with Tom. Also, the instructions are pretty clear. What I hope you're going to come out of this with is clarity on what to pursue, why to pursue it, and what the next steps are, so that you can internally easily find people to assign to the specific steps that follow. Trying to over discuss, I'm not trying to curb your enthusiasm. I'm just trying to get you into this mindset that, hey, basically these are the steps, and whether or not it's like the perfect thing or the perfect formulation is not the relevant. What is relevant that you get to a point where you can execute, and then once you've executed, you've basically changed world state, and then you can reevaluate what your next steps are going to be. That's basically what we want. Tom, anything else to comment before I drop off?
Yeah, I just want to point out there's a lot of like not a lot of effort and a lot of impact, but we're not gonna be able to like go through each of them. So let's or maybe we can. Let's put them all there and then just divide steps and decide who's gonna work on it. And yeah, that's the last thing we'll do. And I hope we got a clear plan forward, and we can move forward together.
Do we still need it? Thank you.
Okay, guys. Thank you. Thank you, all the cool guys. Big shout out to Polycarp. Awesome to see you again. Keith, as always. Andre, if you're still listening, you guys are all awesome. See you somewhere else in Meet Space next year, hopefully. Bye, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye, David.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
I noticed that some people are copying cards instead of moving them, so like I don't know which ones are already there.
I'm copying them just so we can retain the information of what we left.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I think it's best to copy, so you can go back and see like what you decided on earlier, so we don't lose that information.
I'll move them back then.
So just grab the ones in the green. So yeah, when we're ready, we can divide them up in steps and then appoint people that will work on those things. I'll put a timer up.
Do we move everything over? I don't know if we did.
We got 11. Still missing 4 things.
I think it's the guilds.
Can you not make the cards bigger before we move the remaining forks so we make sure that all fit? Which ones are we missing? That's one. Quality control library, I think that's doesn't really require an action on the next step.
I mean, I think it does. Like, it's still like, it's basically like improve our content and our structure, which is an ongoing thing.
Yeah, but I'm like, I will just keep on doing what I'm already doing, so it doesn't require much thinking, I think.
Right, so let's start finding steps. Okay, so if we all go to the first one.
We're still missing one of them. Can't see which one. Oh, there we go. That's fine.
Okay.
So are we just writing the steps now?
Yeah, let's start writing steps.
What's going on? Are these supposed, like, I noticed people are adding more than 3 steps, so is that okay? ABC.
Yeah, that's no worries. I think it's good. Sorry, I was muted. I think it's good that we have more steps. So there's a possibility to sorry to divide it even further. I think that's good. Definitely. Right, we're kind of... Is everybody finished? Right, when you're ready, you can start assign these tasks to different people. So in the bottom section, just take a note and then assign them. So I'll make
I have a question about assigning responsibility. Can we assign responsibility to specific steps or cards, or is it like selecting a boss for each line of work?
Let's discuss that. What is easier for you guys?
I think it might be better to, like, instead of having someone like own just the first step, having someone like own the whole process. So like
Yeah.
it's his responsibility that the next step also like has a person who will do it.
Yeah, I think like it would be good to have like
Product manager type.
Yeah, like essentially like a champion or a raid boss who's gonna be like sort of responsible for like seeing things through to the end. Because like if you have just like people responsible for one piece, then like there's nothing like that's connecting that to carry it forward to the next step. So yeah, I think like even if you're not gonna do every step, just being responsible for like you're gonna get someone to do it, or give everyone an update on like where it's at or things like that. Like someone to just be the champion of it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Or at least like make it the responsibility of that person to like make sure the torch is passed, like so that the
Yeah.
next person to take the task like will find the next person.
Yeah. And yeah, it's for things like this that like if you're a champion of, you can be like the champion of the initiative. These are almost like initiatives, and then you'll get XP for like all the contributions anyone did under that, just because you were like championing the wider initiative. So there is that extra incentive for people in case you're afraid of taking on too much responsibility.
Cool.
I'd definitely like to work on the bots. That's one of the things that you do best.
The XP bot or the onboarding, the choose your adventure bot.
So the choose your adventure bot is what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think that one would be a good one, just because we have like the XP bot's going to be a bit more like tied into the rest of the like the code in the stack we have, and like if I remember correctly, you write your bots in Python, so like that can almost be a standalone thing written in Python. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? Are we waiting for people to write the things themselves, or should we go like column by column and ask like who wants to take this, who wants to take this?
Yeah, I'll take the lead. Or because nobody is writing right now, so I'll just go through each column. So first column is like I have a bot that asks people what their background is, then tells them what's relevant to them, and okay. So if you sign your name, okay, you did it. All right. simple interface for supply and demand listings. Who wants to take that? And if there's anybody you know you want to assign yourself, please go ahead and do so.
Any takers?
Yeah, I mean, I can work that into my bot as well, since I can have interface with smart contracts in my bot.
This wouldn't be a smart contract or bot thing, though. I think this is a thing for the web interface for people to like add onto their profiles.
Oh, okay.
I would be interested in that one. I think it's kind of related to other column that we have here, but
yeah,
we'd like to work on that one.
All right, here we go.
So who would like to create a space on the wiki for these playbooks?
I can start with that. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that, and the high profile members as well. The playbook.
Right. And who would like to create a catalog of different media outlets, podcasts, video, and other content, archiving, for example, podcasts while the latest? Who would like to work on that? Or would like to assign someone to work on that?
Does it start with mockups? And I had a, like, that's not discussed, but I would actually go ahead and standardize how we produce media before we even bundle that for consumption. So I think we would standardize with like format, look and feel of all the things we want there, and in parallel make the page. So I can take this in short.
That sounds good. I think like the first step is really simple, just making a page for the podcast that we have, and then like after we have that page, then we can figure out like how to integrate other content and standardize and whatnot.
Even for us, like right now we have this video that we're recording. You know, right now, like there's not I just kind of sometimes upload it to YouTube. Like we don't have like a dedicated like a doc or something written that like this is how we do things. This is where our content goes. This is where we host it. All that sort of thing. So yeah, I think some of that groundwork is an important part of that.
Yeah, come from media traditionally and kind of my thing.
Sweet.
Oh,
I have questions, but I think I can ask them somewhere else.
All right, yeah, we'll figure that out. Perfect.
Right. Who would like to work on giving everyone a quest journal?
That's already assigned.
Okay. All right, next.
Can I contribute to that one too? That one's really interesting to me.
Sure thing.
Cool.
You can write your name down, whoever said that.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
I think we can have multiple people, and yeah.
I think it would make sense to have one person like name responsible, but whoever can contribute. Yeah.
Right. Do we have someone for memes?
Where's Vanilla Duffy at?
Yeah, he's our memes guy.
Such a wonderful question.
Can we just assign something to someone that isn't here? Hey, Vanilla. Created word.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, just write that person down, perhaps.
Does anybody else wants to do that? Help push that forward?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Memes all the way.
Who will be responsible for implementing the MySpace approach and making teams?
So I would say like whoever does this should probably be fairly familiar with like chakra and design systems and stuff. Yeah.
I think Luxembourg, you were saying that you were working on that right now, right?
Yeah, I'm working with Decentralised in Achievement Tree for to work on sort of custom themes and stuff with the new version of Sakura UI. So yeah, I could kind of yeah, go onto that one, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like,
Cool.
it seems we have a gaping hole because when I started talking, we were talking about having the basic version of the website that just has the app drawer, and this like that wasn't us. I guess like you started doing that, Luxembourg.
Yeah, I did make a start of it within the current website repo, but I haven't made huge progress, so it doesn't matter if it gets binned off or whatever.
Okay, but you're fine with being the champion of that, or do you want
Oh
somebody?
yeah, man. Yeah.
All right, perfect. I will put you on here as well then for the
cool.
MySpace thing, since that's kind of the evolution of it.
I know Van Moortel was also, he made some PRs for like the custom sections in my meta, so maybe you can put him down as a contributor, even though he's not here.
That's cool. Alright.
Right, I think we have everything, unless there were other people who wanted to assign to the last ones. Yeah, please speak up if you want to assign yourself to, and you haven't done so.
And yeah, feel free, like, if
Or
you don't want to like own something, but you want to contribute in some area, like you can maybe just add another sticky note below the section as like contributor, or yeah, even just in the same thing. So yeah,
like if you want to just take the first step and then pass the torch, maybe indicate that with something.
Or even like you might not want to even take the first step, but just you might want to contribute in like the step 2 or step 3 or something. You can just add it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like I imagine, like, you know, Kai could be working a lot on the content standardization stuff, but like other people might be like wanting to actually like create some content, or you know, coordinate other people to bring content and stuff. Like, because a lot of these things can sort of be done in parallel, like they're not necessarily like in order steps for all of them, per se. So yeah. But yeah, I think it's good overall.
Right.
Right.
Be happy with this?
Yeah, if we are, then yeah, we're at the end of the workshop. Thank you so much for the workshop. I hope this brings value to all of you, and maybe a closing round to you guys. What did you think of the workshop, and are you happy with the result?
I love
just
it.
From my perspective, this is the first time I'm actually workshop. It's quite intense. I didn't expect so many people. I'm super interested in what you guys are doing. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, you are now considered a player because like you have to be a player to earn XP. So
yeah, you earned a lot of XP for this.
Yeah, I actually struggled to, because I didn't know you had to be a player, and I had to quickly get my role.
No worries.
It's a trap.
But yeah, I think it was super useful. In terms of how it went, I think it's like it's interesting to see like sort of the things that like came out of it. You know, there's some things I think that were like that we definitely thought that would like show up here, but kind of didn't. So it's cool to see that, and I think it's a good way to sort of filter out, you know, the actual needs from like what we think we need. One thing I think would be cool for us to do regardless, even though we didn't make it here, is like the merch. And I know we're already working on that. It's already kind of happening, but yeah, having a merch section is definitely
important.
like, I would even probably like, because we're already doing merch and it's like already going to be a thing, I would even probably create that as like a possible thing that people in here that someone could like create, because it's fairly easy. We just need to create like a thing that like lists here's the stuff you can buy and how much you can buy it for. And what the cool thing to do there would be like make it so you need to at least hold some amount of seeds to be able to buy stuff.
Right now, Penguin is the only one assigned to MetaMerch, but like we need somebody to actually build the page. And I don't know how it works with MetaFactory. Like, can we like use?
You can embed products, yeah.
Yeah.
Can we? Have we? Is there a discussion about buying merch with seeds?
Possibly. The thing is like, if you buy merch with seeds, we still need to pay for the merch. So then that would just put sell pressure on seeds, because we need to sell the seeds for ETH to then convert it into like fiat and all that sort of stuff. And people like also lose their seeds. Whereas if we just make it so if you hold seeds, you're given the right to purchase merch, and you can just purchase it with your credit card. Then you get rid of your dirty fiat and you stay more in crypto.
I think it would be cool to have like both options, so you can like, if you buy with ETH, you pay a bit more, but you because like that's one of the obvious use cases for the seeds.
Yeah. So the way we've done it to this point in MetaFactory is that people buy it with whatever, and then we actually use the profits to buy seeds from the market. And then that way, like MetaFactory, it gets like seed exposure. The seed price has like positive buy pressure. So it's even better than like people spending their seeds on it. Is like we can actually use it to like drive more buy pressure on seeds.
Right, yeah, that's good. Penguin, do you want to keep championing this, or should we find somebody who's going to like find somebody to actually build it, or like what do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I want to keep driving on that. So I put myself in Hamad.
Yeah.
Because we're both MetaFactory, so I'm still talk to him about a lot of it. But yeah, I built a new column.
Cool.
All right, sounds good. All right, I will be transferring everything to our this navigation board thing. So like all the initiatives already exist, and I think Mizant and the Jelly are the only people who are missing, and Blake. And they are going to split this shit into all of that and make it have more sense, because yeah, I think it's needed.
Missing.
Dope.
Did you say that I was missing something? Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, you are not on this navigation board yet. The three of you.
I'm just a guest.
But you are signed or just a contributor to the
guest there, I think. Then I'm not signed in yet.
Oh, this is just a image board. This is the same thing as the thing that we use to do the design sprint.
Are you talking about the Miro board?
Yeah, but the Miro board that we use to actually like keep track of what's going
on. No, I must not be a part of it. I'm only in the decision jam. That's the only one that I've opened.
Do you not want to be a part of it, or are you saying that you're just currently not?
Oh no, yeah, I definitely want to be a part of it. I'm just not yet.
Yeah.
Where can I find the link?
I'm the one adding people, because previously I had it so that anyone can edit it, and then like people were fucking it up. So I had so that I'm the only one who can manage the board, at least for now.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to join.
Awesome. All right.
I think we're probably can wrap it up now. Unless there's anything else. It's been a bit over and it's been a long session, so thanks everyone for bearing with it. But yeah, I think it was really nice.
Yeah, 3 hours. But yeah, I think it was awesome. it was a lot of fun and a lot of surprises, and yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
Right, amazing.
Yeah, this was really cool. Thank you.
All right, so thank you, ABC, and shit.
Thanks, guys, for running that. That was pretty epic. Good to watch.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
See you around.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Since Chabad,
Yeah?
you still haven't sent the minting, right?
No, I haven't. I just had to adjust some of the things we were discussing with the weights and whatnot. So I'm going to redo the distribution. And some people were activated as well.
Yeah, I think that's good because then we can reward the Deepwork people right away. They don't have to wait for a month.
Yeah, for this we'll probably have to create an initiative. It's not something that would like be tracked well and did a thing.
You think we should try to add it there?
No, I think it deserves its own initiative just because it's like it was a much bigger thing. It's a one-off thing rather than something that's like regularly happening, and like in the future it'll help for us to like attribute value back to this initiative. So like again for them too, it's like I know you said so they can get their reward right away, but like in reality their reward will come from this as like people start, you know, building off this work.
Right.
And yeah, we can definitely like set this initial weight for them, but you know, I think like we should set the expectation that like they'll still be earning XP over time and not just getting it up front all right away, because it's like delayed gratification in that sense.
And what's the fast slow payout? I keep forgetting what's the ratio.
I think it's 50-50. I'll double check. But even like the fast payout, it's like it still doesn't do like, because like we still want to prevent people from like doing stuff like right before the calculation or distribution happens. They like, you know, like 100,000 things in Discord, and then the moment after it stops, they like take it out. So we still have like a buffer in there. But yeah, like I think it's still like 50-50. So they'll get some weight for it, but the majority of their tokens will get out of this will be over time, because that's when like the true value of this will be determined by like how effective it actually was in terms of like getting people to actually like get stuff done. But the more stuff in this list that gets done, we can sort of flow value back to them proportional to that.
Yeah, that's good. And what did I want to say? Yeah, I guess it wasn't very important, or at least I can hope so. And yeah, we can wrap it up. It was awesome. Oh yeah. No. It was like just peeking here, like, oh, it's gonna come back, and then it just didn't.
Yeah, all good.
Oh yeah. So it goes 50-50, but then like next month, does it again do 50-50, or do you get the other half, or how does that work?
It's 50-50 every month.
All right, so it just tapers off.
Yeah.
All right, makes sense. All right, let's end it. Let's end it.
Awesome.
Thank you everyone for coming. It was amazing, and yeah, let's do this shit.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Peace.
Thanks.
See y'all.